This is Clogbusters here at 3224 Southeast Concord Road in Portland, Oregon. We're doing a sewer scope inspection today to check the serviceability all the way to the main. I actually should correct that, it's not Portland. It did come up address-wise on my information, but it's Milwaukie actually. We're going to go ahead and throw the scope in here into the 3-inch cast iron roof stack. We were unable to find any kind of access on the ground level. Went into the crawl space last time I was in here, and I couldn't find where the cleanout was based off of the trajectory of the line. Once it goes down into the ground, it disappears, and I could not track it. So we're going to go ahead and throw the scope in here, get horizontal, reset the counter, and start the inspection. We do have the water on the inside of the house going at this time, and we're going to go ahead and get all the way down there, and we'll keep it running to allow us to check for any kind of pooling or issues, and we flush the line to go ahead and clear the line of any kind of debris that might be sitting in there. Alright, looks like we're upside down. We'll reset the foot mark here. It looks like we're at the base of the clean out, so the water's probably coming in a little bit further on down. That's okay. We have a little bit of rust buildup. And we're also going to keep our eye out for any kind of clean out that might exist. Right here, roughly 9.5 feet, we're transitioning to what appears to be 3-inch ABS line, so it looks like they might have had some kind of work done. And we're going to continue pushing. Looks like we don't have any water actually going to the line at this point, which kind of concerns me. So we're going to pause the video, see if we can't get some water running. Alright, so I was just informed by the realtor that the kitchen sink is going on full blast here, and we're barely getting a trickle, so that makes me think that there's some kind of place where there is water escaping the line. The last time I was here inside the crawl space at the base of the stack, there was plenty of water that was sitting at the base of the stack, so I'm wondering, in combination, I didn't see any gaping holes and while I was passing on through there, but that's a very well big indicator that there could be a leak in the line. So we're going to go ahead and continue pushing as much as we possibly can. Alright, so she went ahead and turned on another faucet, either to overcome the amount of leakage and is able to go ahead and travel through the line just fine, or we found a line that doesn't have a leak at all. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the kitchen sink, which is the original line that was going, and it was just a trickle, and see if this still is maintained, in which case then there's some kind of leak or blockage along the other line. Alright, so we've switched over to this other sink here. As you can see, the water has not gone down one iota, so the kitchen sink itself appears to be the issue. We are going into what appears to be just a little bit of minor cooling. That's a fully flowing faucet there, so we'll take that into account. And so far, I have not seen any indication whatsoever of any kind of cleanup. Take another right-hand turn. Not exactly sure where this line is going. At this point, we're barely scraping along. It looks like we're caught in the amount of friction that's on the line, and this is already a significant amount of water pulling through here, so there's not going to be a way to overcome the friction. We are going to pause the video, see if we can't find out where this is located, and the only recommendation I have at this point is to go ahead and install an actual cleanout in the line, or find the original cleanout wherever that may be and scope from the original cleanout. We'll go ahead and pause and locate. Alright, so we found the line. it's in the driveway. But for how long we've gone distance-wise, it looks like we may have gone up one side of the house, doubled back, and come right back down the same side within the yard or something, and then gone straight back down to the driveway. And we've done a 180, it looks like. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled on where a clean out may be. Definitely want to go ahead and consider putting actually 2 clean outs in order to go ahead and avoid the secondary, or the 2 turns that we're looking at in the line. Going through 180 makes it almost impossible for a line to travel too far, and given the distance that I'm already traveling and where it looks like it's going, possibly traveling to the road, that means it would travel over 100 feet worth of distance, and you would most likely get caught up. Like there's the other turn right there, so there's another turn most likely going through. You'd most likely get caught up in the line. Right, now that we fixed the reel, so I'm not seeing any kind of indication that there is a clean out on this line, even though it appears to be newer ABS line. This should have, the line should have had at least one other clean out installed on it when it was put in for purposes of inspection, if this was within the last 10 years. So I would also check to see whoever did the work and see if they're willing to come back, or if the work is under warranty, and if they're willing to go ahead and come back and put in a proper clean out, or if they have some kind of system that has tracked where there should have been a clean out. There's another turn right there, so we have done actually a complete 180 almost in this line. It looks like this is probably where we came out of the house, so we're going to go ahead and mark this transition as a place we recommend putting a clean out, and then we would recommend putting a clean out right in the driveway where we marked the maximum distance that we were able to make. Alright, this looks like a shorter turn cycle than I originally anticipated. Looks like it goes out, takes a turn, goes clips under the side of the garage, then it goes out into the driveway path where the cars are parked, and then goes under a couple cars, and then terminates, or it doesn't terminate. The maximum distance I was able to reach and not go past was under one of the other parked cars in the driveway. So it does do quite a bit of turns before it gets out. My recommendation is to go ahead and install a clean out not only close to the house in order to go ahead and check this area out, but also further up down the line in order to go ahead and make it all the way to the main. There's no telling if you go ahead and get all the way to the main through all these different turns. We're going to go ahead and keep our eyes peeled once we get up in here, see if there's any indication that there is a clean out. There's only a couple feet in between here and the house, so it would have to be within the next 3 feet indicator. So it looks like there might be the original clean out right there. So we're going to go ahead and try and find out where this is at. If it's on the outside, we might be able to expose it, possibly get a little bit further in the line. Alright, boy, that sucker was buried. Finally found the original clean out. We're going to go ahead and reel this up. We're going to go ahead and throw the scope down in there and see how far we can go ahead and get. So next thing you'll see should be the original clean out. Alright, so this looks to be the original clean out. We're going to go ahead and throw the scope in there. We're not going to go ahead and mess with the interior water because we already know that this is the sewer line. This is a 3-inch cast iron clean out. Now that we're down on the bottom, we'll reset the foot marker again and see how far we can go. As I said before, because it's behind the 180 that we're doing to get all the way down the line, we don't know exactly how far we're going to be able to go. So we're going to push as fast and as far as we can get. Turn off the water on the way back, and we get all the way to the main. We should be able to see it's a pretty flat line. And at 136 feet, we switch over to what appears to be the same type of ABS, or the same diameter PVC material. Each one of these places we're going down into bellying. And we do have the water running at this point. Going into a dive. And looks like we're going straight into the main. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the water entirely. Looks to me like it's a bunch of relatively newer pipe, and it has settled to the point where there is pockets of pooling. I can't tell if they're minor versus major, but with a line this long, it's bound to happen. 171 feet just from the clean out at the house indicates to me that it's going at a very, very minor amount of slope. So we'll go ahead and pause the video, see if we can't find out where we're at. Alright, so found this out in the middle of the street. We are for sure at the city main. We're going to go ahead and start pulling back now. I feel like I've given sufficient enough time for the water to go back to normal without any kind of water running. So we're going to pull back rather quickly now to verify whether or not we still have any kind of pooling in the line. So as you can see, we do have major pooling right there, but there's no debris sitting in the line. And there's major pooling there. Nothing sitting in the line. Arms are rest for a second here. The turns. So what I'm seeing, we're all the way back to where we had been inspecting slowly. I saw two pockets of major pooling, but they did not appear to have big chunks of debris hanging out in them, and they're not going to get much better based off of the length of the line. So my recommendation is to possibly cautiously regrade the line. That is my recommendation. Technically, it is a fail. So we're going to go ahead and recommend a regrade tentatively for this line. But because of the length of the line, based off of what the city says, we may not be able to go ahead and do that because of how long it is. We might have to install a pump. So the conclusion is we will need to go ahead and gather more information as to what we need to do through the city before we make an official recommendation. But those are my concluding thoughts. This will end the video.